Hey guys, so I have a super fun little snowman picture for you. This is what we're gonna do. And all you need is a pencil and some markers. I used a little bit of highlighter right here to get this really light colored blue for his shadow. But I'm gonna show you how to make this little cute guy. All right, hope you're ready. Here I have just about a 9x6 piece of paper. So, okay, so we're gonna start down here at the corner and we are going to just lightly sketch because we want to be able to erase what we don't need. And I'm just gonna draw a big hump right here, kind of like Patrick's house. The kids at school have started calling it Patrick's house. So we're gonna draw a big Patrick's house, just like that. And as you can see, my lines are nice and light. I didn't really dig into them, so they'll be easier to erase if I need to. Now we're gonna go ahead and add his scarf. And on both sides of his body, we're gonna draw some parentheses, just like this. Really shallow, just like that. And I'm going to give it the very front of the part of his scarf that hangs down. So I'm going to draw this part right here. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna draw like a really big, tall N. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It could be lumpy, it can be a little bit wavy, just like that. And I'm actually going to take this little line and I'm going to scoop it in here. So this line here will end up being erased just like this one right here. So go up to the side of his scarf because this is where his neck sits and we are going to connect it. It can be rounded, it can be kind of bumpy. And then we're going to connect this side to the other side of his scarf. Now, when we wrap our scarves around our neck, we actually have two pieces that hang down, both of the ends. So right under here, go ahead and draw another line. Kind of scoop it in here, and you can end this scarf with a little line too. And there's that. So go ahead and we're going to erase this piece. And we're going to erase this piece. All right. Okay, go ahead and add his head. So we're going to go from right here to right here. We're going to add a nice snowball right on there. Doesn't have to be perfect on top. We're going to go ahead and add his hat. And where his hat's going to go is I'm going to take a line and I'm going to draw a line kind of across his head. Just like this. And kind of make the brim of his hat. And give him the top part of his hat. Right there. And we are going to erase the top of his head. Right there. And we're going to erase the part of his head that's in the brim of his hat. And don't forget this side. There's his hat. So let's go ahead and give him some little coal eyes. You can draw some really kind of like little messy circles because they're made of coal and they're not perfect. Give him some little coal buttons. Again, my circles are not going to be perfect. Be kind of lumpy. And he needs a corn nose. So I'm going to kind of make it like a cloud a little bit. Make it pointy. Those carrots aren't perfect. And give him a little charcoal smile. So you can choose what you want to do with his hat. Most of these hats have some kind of ribbon right here. I decided to do a little buffalo plaid ribbon to match his buffalo plaid scarf. But if you want to just color it one solid color, that's fine. So the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to use a fine tip Crayola marker for this. If you don't have a fine tip, that's fine. Just be very careful as you're drawing to not just really dig in, because we still want to draw kind of lightly because we want to get these nice little lines here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to color in and trace my eyes, my mouth, and my buttons. And again, they don't have to be perfect circles. If they're kind of bumpy, rocks are bumpy, they're not perfect. Color those all in. And as you can see, some of my little lines are not being drawn over, and that's okay because we can go back and erase them in a few minutes. Okay, so what I want you to do from here is I want you to trace all of the rest of your snowman. So all these pencil lines we made, go over them with your black marker. Have them all outlined. I'm going to do a little bit different little band than I did over here. And I'm also going to add some fringe to the bottom of my little scarf. Just like that. I'm just going to make a whole bunch of little tiny little lines straight down. And then I'm going to, all right, so that part's done. Now we just need to color him. So go ahead and color his hat and the brim ribbon any color you want. Of course, his corn nose is going to be orange, and make whatever kind of scarf you want. Once you're done with that, we're going to go ahead and add his shadow. And we're going to add a shadow because the sun is shining over here and we want to see where these shadows go. Okay, so go ahead and get that part colored, and I'll be back in a second to give you his shadowing part. So we're going to talk about shadowing. So a shadow happens when a light source is coming from a specific direction and anything on the opposite side of the subject is going to have shade. So if my sun is over here, our shadow is going to be over here. If my sun is behind my snowman, the shadow is going to appear in front of him on the ground. And then if my sun is over here, my shadow is going to come this direction. So it's going to be, your shadow is going to be across from wherever your sun is. So with this snowman, my sun was over on this side, so our shadow is going to fall under here. But it's also going to fall under the brim of his hat a little bit and underneath his scarf. And over on this side of his scarf and underneath also. So grab either a really light blue crayon or a light blue highlighter. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to make some little shaded little sketchy lines like this. They don't have to be perfect, just like that. And there's my shadow. I'm going to give him a little bit of a shadow under his nose and on the sides of his coal eyes and his little coal, all his coal features, just like that. And then we're going to put it under his scarf. And then down this side of his body a little bit. Now I don't want you to just add a line like this. I want him to really have some shadowing going on. And then I'm going to add some to his buttons. Under the on the side of his scarf here. And under his scarf. Apologize, guys, it's hard to draw with one hand and not hold my paper. Somebody snagged my little easel for this. There you go. It's all done. Cute little snowman.